15th for Stafford Planning and Zoning. Please remember to turn off or silence your cell phones, and we'll get this meeting called to order. First, we'll have City Clerk Beatrice Driver do the roll call.
Thank you. Good evening. We have a quorum of 4 with Mr. Figueroa, Mr. Patterson, Mr. Ragland, and Mr. Hancock.
Thank you. The Stafford Planning and Zoning Commission values citizens' comments and input. If you wish to address the Planning and Zoning Commission, please complete a request to address the commission form that is on the back table where you signed in at. We will call your name when we call to the public portion of the agenda is reached. And pursuant to the open meeting law, the Planning and Zoning Commission may not discuss or act on any information or items presented during this time, but may respond to criticism by those who have addressed the public body, may ask staff to review a matter, or may ask a matter to be put on a future agenda. Do we have any comments on non-agenda items?
We do not.
All right, we'll move on to, we have any agenda, anything?
We do not.
All right, we'll move on to the next, which is the approval of the minutes from June 17th. Do we have any additions or changes to those minutes that we need to discuss? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
So move. Second.
We've got a first and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
And any opposed? Passes. Unanimous. We are now going to close our regular meeting and reconvene into a public hearing that will be for 2 rezone requests. And we will start with the Griffin rezone, and we'll start with our staff presentation.
Good evening, Commissioners. Staff requests that the Planning and Zoning Commission hold a public hearing on a rezone application and provide a recommendation to the City Council along with a statement of the Planning and Zoning Commission's reasons for the recommendation. The Community Development Department is in receipt of a rezone application from James Fowler for Graham County Parcel 103020005A. The rezone request is from the R2 Multiple Family Residential District to the C3 Light Commercial District. In your staff report, you have the purpose of this zoning district, and you will note highlighted in A, any uses permitted in the R2 zoning district are allowed in this C3 Light Commercial District. It will allow the multifamily and build on that with light commercial uses. Per zoning ordinance 1720.020, the applicant is required to hold a neighborhood meeting in the rezoning prior to going before the Planning and Zoning Commission. A meeting notice was mailed to all property owners within 100 feet of the property. The meeting was held on June 11th, 2024 at the City Annex. Applicant notes from this meeting are attached. No other correspondence has been received by staff. The next section of your staff report includes general plan compatibility, and community desires on page 2.2 of the general plan states, during the Envision Safford Public Participation Program, which included a week-long design charrette, the community voiced the need to allow opportunities for mixed-use development in character with the community scale and increase the quality of life by providing access to quality parks, recreation, trails, and open space. Staff is recommending that the Planning and Zoning Commission recommend to the City Council to rezone Graham County Parcel 103020005A from the R2 Multiple Family Residential District to the C3 Light Commercial District for the following 2 reasons. The rezone will allow for any use allowed in the R2 district, as well as additional compatible commercial uses. Number 2, the property is located across 8th Avenue from the new City of Safford Park and will provide a transitional area from the park to the residences on the west. The attachments in your packet are site photos, the rezone application, neighborhood meeting notes, and a map, which I also have on the screen, and the applicant's representative is here this evening. With that, I will stand for questions.
So it is open for a public hearing, so any public comment, the commission discussion can be after in number 8.2 once we're done with the public hearing.
Correct.
Right now, if there's anyone wanting to speak on public hearing.
Yes, please step to the podium.
Thank you, Chair, members of the commission. My name is Gregory James Larson. I'm the lawyer for the applicant for the rezone. And I'm happy to answer any specific questions that the commission may have. The rezoning is appropriate to promote orderly growth, development. It's right along two arterial roadways, Discovery Park Boulevard and 8th Avenue, just south of us here. The lot right now is vacant. It's vacant land. It's zoned R2, of course. Our efforts here are orchestrated to entice a long-term tenant to come in to develop the property. I don't want to create any excitement by saying we have specific plans for this piece of property because we really don't. We're trying to attract someone to come in to develop it. Multifamily is attractive. Just multifamily alone is less attractive than being able to put some other light commercial development in here. The neighborhood meeting was really productive and positive, and we got comments that this feels like a good thing. We could use more here, and changing the zoning from R2 to C3 will help to accomplish that goal. And like I said, I'm happy to answer any questions that the commission might have. I would really encourage the commission to recommend to city council to approve this change. And that's all I've got for you.
Does anybody have any specific questions?
Beginning when we're discussing the new city park, are we talking about going on both sides of the road on 8th Avenue, or just one side? On that,
The land to the west of 8th Avenue is owned by my client, so if the park was going to extend to the west of 8th Avenue,
at one time it was discussed, but they didn't do that. Okay,
yeah, I don't,
that's
yeah,
all my question.
the boundary's pretty close to 8th Avenue over there.
So there's nothing on the south side of the Discovery Park.
The south side to the south of the pavement of Discovery Park, there's none of that, but to
Is there anything, what's going to be happening over there?
the south of Discovery Park Boulevard, I'm not aware of any proposed development down there. Yeah. It's either public facility or C1. There's not a lot of room down there between the core dam there and the roadway. There's not a whole lot you can do with it there. And the wash runs right, it's kind of, just not much that can go in there to the south of that.
But ideally, you would like to have possibly some type of a convenience store, and then also maybe some homes or apartments or something of that nature.
Ideally, yes. We're seeking long-term tenants, so something along those lines, a combination of different uses along those lines, really what we're looking for.
Any other questions for Mr. Larson? Thank you.
Thank you, Chair.
And if we have no other questions for the Griffin rezone or any other public that would like to speak on the Griffin rezone, we'll move on to our second rezone. Director Embick.
Yes, this is a rezone for parcel 102-41009. The request is from the Agricultural Residential District and the C2 Highway Commercial District to the Agricultural Residential District, C2 Highway Commercial District, and the Industrial 1 Light Industrial District. Barney Trucking will be relocating into the city of Safford limits from the property where they were leasing on Highway 191. In your staff report, you have the listed allowed uses there for the separate categories, and the industrial one allows a freight yard for their trucking company. You will notice also that the neighborhood meeting was required and a meeting notice was mailed to all property owners within 150 feet of the property. The meeting was held on June 11th, 2024 at the City Annex. Applicant notes from this meeting are attached. No additional response has been received by staff, and no one attended their public meeting at the annex. Your next section of your staff report is general plan compatibility. Goal 8 of the citywide land use goals and policies of the general plan states provide for sufficient land to expand the city's commercial, employment, and industry base. This will allow infill commercial and light industrial use in the area near a state highway. It will retain part of the parcel for future residential development that is not fronted on the highway. This lot abuts other commercially and industrially zoned property. Staff is recommending that the Planning and Zoning Commission recommend to the City Council to rezone Graham County Parcel 10241,009 from the AR Agricultural Residential District and the C2 Highway Commercial District to a combination of the Agricultural Residential District, C2 Highway Commercial District, and the Industrial 1 Light Industrial District for the following 3 reasons. This rezone will allow for commercial and industrial infill near a state highway. The rezone will retain part of the parcel for future residential development that is not fronted on the highway. And number 3, the rezone will allow a business to locate within the city of Safford limits. In your packet, you have site photos, the rezone application, neighborhood meeting notes, and a map, which I will display as well. And the applicant's representative is here this evening.
This is also part of the public hearing, so if there is anybody that would like to comment specifically on this rezone, you are welcome to now.
Not everybody at once.
Not everybody at once, so, all right, are there any direct questions for Director Embick?
Just have a question. Will it be similar to the trucking yard that's out there next to the restaurant, out where the old drive-in was? You know what I'm talking about? They have a place where they have the,
Yeah, I think Marathon and
yeah, Marathon.
Rentals
and
are right
some of them
there.
that Right in that
We're
area.
right, and it'll be similar to that.
It'd be similar to that type of situation where there's park trailers and that type of thing.
Yes.
I think that's good. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, we like to see growth.
Do you have anything specific you'd like to add to the presentation?
With this, with this property, you'll be probably installing fuel tanks and that kind of stuff.
Yes, we will be putting in a fuel tank in.
And you said part of that was reserved for the residential? Was that the one furthest south of, right north of the highway? Is that the one you're talking about? James?
North.
The top part? Okay.
States AR.
Okay, that's all I had.
Any more? Any other questions?
You're good.
Thank you.
Thanks for your time.
Since there are no other comments, we'll now close the public hearing and reconvene into our regular meeting. And now we have an action item for the commission for the recommendation of the Griffin rezone. Would you like to re-speak on that, Director Embick, or would you like us to go directly into our recommendation?
I have nothing further, sir, but I am available for questions if you have any.
All right, as this is an action item for the first rezone, the Griffin rezone, that would recommend to City Council reasons for recommendation for rezone application from James Fowler for Graham County Parcel 1030200SA. The rezone is a request from R2 Multiple Family Residential District to C3 Light Commercial District. Is any discussion? And if not, I will entertain a motion.
So moved. I do have a question whether we wanted to include the reasons that we were doing this or not. I know we have them here.
Yes, Commissioner Ragland and Chair Patterson, you may use those or you may make your motion with your own.
I move your motion.
That is a motion as written. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And aye. That is, any opposed? Negative? That is unanimously passed. And I will move on to, we will move on to our next action item, the recommendation of Barney Trucking Rezone. We will provide a recommendation to the City Council along with a statement of the Planning and Zoning Commission's reasons for the recommendation for rezone application from Steve Womack for Graham County Parcel 102-41-009. The rezone request is from the AR Agricultural Residential District and the C2 Highway Commercial District to the Agricultural District, C2 Highway Commercial District, and the IND1 Light Industrial District. Do we have any questions or comments for this rezone?
Looks like it looks like it covers it all. We've got the industrial part of it and the agriculture, yeah. Yeah, I think it covers all of our concerns.
I will entertain a motion then,
So moved?
as written,
Yes.
and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
That's an aye. That passes unanimously.
Right.
That is through our new business section. We will move into project updates and announcements. Is there any questions or comments from the commission or from Director Imbeck on project updates and announcements?
Yes, sir, Mr. Chair. If anybody has any final comments on those code updates that I presented at our last meeting, if you could email those to me by the end of this week. I'm preparing that for our Spotlight on Developer breakfast. So if you could get those to me by Wednesday afternoon, I can get them in my presentation. If you had any comments or concerns, and if not, they'll be going to the council in August. So if you have any comments or concerns by then, you may email me as well.
Sounds good. Anybody up here? All right, our next scheduled meeting looks like it is August 19th. Is there any comments or questions on that date? Good, yes. All in favor, good. Okay, then that looks like we've come to the bottom. Looking for an adjournment.
So moved. Yeah, I don't know if you even need a second for this, but thank you people for coming.
Thanks, everybody, for coming tonight.
Being
That'll
here,
do it.
yeah.
We are now adjourned.